Hey my fellow main characters, it's your boy Bam. Today we're going to go into the 5 things that I gained from doing the solo leveling challenge for 30 days. Initially I was thinking about uploading basically a daily vlog of myself doing the solo leveling challenge. You know what, nobody's got time for that. I don't really enjoy doing it that way really. And so that's why I decided to kind of compile my findings and thoughts into one singular video and kind of share with you guys my top 5 things that I gained personally from doing this challenge. The first thing that I gained from this challenge is the secret to consistency. I think one of the things in life that you can't really argue against is that in order to get good at something, in order to achieve results in something, you have to be consistent to get those results. You don't necessarily have to be on a daily routine with something, but you have to do something repeated for enough times to really start squeezing out the juices of the results you get from it. What I found that helped me be consistent is that I kept these 3 things in mind. The first thing is convenience. The more convenient you can make something you have to do, the less mental resistance that will be in front of you that you would have to fight through. I believe it's in the power of habits. It brings up the idea that our personal willpower we have, our personal ability to just push back against resistance is limited. You kind of think of it as like almost like a stamina bar in a video game. And every time you go to sleep, that stamina bar reloads. But if you keep on chipping away that stamina bar, eventually you'll reach low stamina, or you'll reach no stamina and not be able to use that. Our willpower kind of works in a very similar way. The more resistances we put in front of ourselves to do something, the more we burn out our willpower, and eventually we'll reach a point where the amount of willpower we have left is not enough to overcome that resistance. What I liked about the solo leveling challenge is the convenience of it. Because basically you could do it anywhere. It's an at-home workout. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and then you got your run later that day. So it was hella convenient. The next aspect of this being consistent is try to make the process that you're trying to be consistent in as enjoyable as possible. One of the things that I like to share with my clients as a personal trainer, you do not have to work out in a way that you do not enjoy. There is multiple different ways of achieving the results you're looking for in terms of gaining muscle, gaining strength, losing weight, whatever it may be. You can find a process that feels right and good for you. I noticed that a lot of people that say they don't like working out is more like they don't like working out in a specific kind of way. So making the process as enjoyable as possible for you, if you don't enjoy doing this kind of challenge, the solo leveling challenge, pick a challenge that you actually would enjoy and do that instead. And the third key component of being consistent to something, make sure you're working for the outcome you actually want. And this takes a little bit of internal work. We have to look at ourselves and really analyze if you really want something, right? Whether it be losing weight, whether it be gaining muscle, whether it be getting more money in your bank account, whatever you're trying to do, make sure the outcome is actually something that would bring you joy and you would appreciate. Benefit number 2, I gained a lot of mental hacks for improving my endurance. What I noticed when doing endurance training, endurance comes more so from the mind than less so from the physical capacity of the body. You could always kind of go one more, especially if you're pacing yourself, you could always kind of push yourself to go one more. And so I found different ways of trying to trick the voice in my head that tells me to give up, to be like, no, we can still do more, we can still do more. So the most prominent way I found to trick my brain into keep going with the challenge and working out, I would do easy blocks in my head. I would count only to a certain number and then I would reset that count. So instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to 25 or 50 reps. Each time I kept on counting, it just felt more and more daunting and more my body and mind just wanted to give up. The technique I ended up implementing was only counting to 5 and then resetting that count. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. And you guys can try this out for yourself if you're working out in endurance and you're kind of struggling through reps. For some reason, counting to 5 felt super easy. Like I could do 5 reps, no problem, right? And so every time I reset the count, it was like I was resetting my brain saying, hey, we just gotta do 5 reps, bro. We just gotta do 5 reps. And my brain was like, oh, just 5? Okay, no problem. So it's almost like I tricked my brain every 5 reps to only give me 5 reps. But in truly, that allowed me to break past a lot of my endurance limits. And that worked for my push-ups, that worked for my squats, that worked for my Supermans. Give it a try next time you're working up to some high reps. Benefit number 3 is I noticed myself getting a little bit more tone and having more definition, especially with my quads. Like I just noticed that my body, when I would look at myself in the mirror, my chest would feel more shaped and more full and defined. I would see my midsection being leaner, and I would see a little bit more of my ab walls kind of popping. I just noticed myself being more toned, having just a more overall tighter look. The 4th benefit I gained was my nutrition became more locked in because it had to be more locked in. This is something that I kind of found interesting because I've worked out for years, guys. I've been working out seriously for years, primarily doing more power building style activities. Now I've been branching off and trying to incorporate a lot more aspects of fitness into my personal build, but I never felt more locked into my nutrition than doing the Soul Loving Challenge. And looking back at it, I think it was because I would have to work out every day. When I get up and get to my workout, I would feel the energy in the food I had the day before. So literally the food I was eating directly related to my performance in doing the challenge. It related to how difficult it was going to be. It related to like how much injury or pain I was going to have. It related to how much energy I would have doing it. Like such a direct correlation between like, hey, if I eat this slice of pizza right now, tomorrow's workout about to be garbage. Like so I felt more locked in because the Soul Loving Challenge was something I was doing daily, and it was like a non-negotiable for myself. If I want the Soul Loving Challenge to be easy, having food that supported me doing this daily activity ultimately would be better. And honestly, it's making me consider having a daily workout routine moving forward. Some days might be harder than other days, of course, and some days might be more of an active rest. There's a part of me that doesn't want to go back to only working out 4 to 5 times per week, even though that's a great time slot, even though that's a great workout frequency, 4 to 5 times per week. To me personally, just the fact that it was always on my mind, the challenge, it was always on my mind, like, okay, if I have this food, is it going to help me recover faster? Is it going to give me energy? Is it going to support this challenge I'm going to have to do? Is it going to support this workout tomorrow? You know, and it didn't feel like a struggle to me. It didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to sacrifice this McDonald's, I have to sacrifice this Popeyes. No, I really am enjoying the workouts I'm doing. I'm really enjoying the consistency I'm kind of having with doing this challenge. I want to eat food that supports that. There'll be some days where I would eat garbage and like my body would just be like a total wreck trying to go through. That also applied to sleep as well. That applied to me making sure I'm stretching, getting the proper recovery I needed, because when you're working out every day, recovery is super important, man. You have no choice but to be locked in, because you're going to feel it the next day if you're not locked in. And the 5th benefit I gained from the Soul Loving Challenge is the concept of pacing yourself. This challenge kind of taught me that you should go at your own pace. And I was only able to really see this aspect when I was working out with my brother. Shout out to Captain Dre Million for joining me on some days in the challenge. But when I was working out with him, I noticed me and him had to go at different paces. We had to make adjustments based on the level in which we're at. And it only became more prominent when I would work out with him, because it's like we're at different stages in our fitness journey, and we kind of have to approach workouts and routines differently. We shouldn't expect to do things at the same pace, at the same speed or anything. When I first started doing the challenge, I adjusted it to fit the level in which I was at. Instead of doing 100 push-ups straight, I would divide that up into 5 sets of 20 reps. I would adjust the amount of time I would run. Some days I would shoot for more of just doing it based on time, like running for 30 minutes, and whatever distance I got is what I got. I had to make the adjustments and go based on my own pace, because we're all on a different path in this journey, and we all kind of have different goals we're trying to strive for. So it makes total sense for us to go at our own pace and make adjustments to whatever challenge or activity or job you're doing to kind of fit your pace. So anyways, my fellow main characters, those are the top 5 things I've gained from doing the solo leveling challenge for 30 days straight. I appreciate you guys tuning in and checking it out. Always remember before you go that you are the main character of your own story. My name is Bam, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!